Good morning. Top of the weekend to you. Welcome to Political Circle. In different forums in the country, be it in the marketplaces, beer parlors, political and social meetings, or even in the stadium, one conversation is always throwing itself up. That is the big question on the 2027 presidential elections. Is former President Goodluck Jonathan in the race or not? The beauty of the conversations are that you find some people talking and arguing authoritatively as if they just finished discussing with former President Jonathan on the matter. The arguments are sometimes very serious, and that has captured our attention on Political Circle today. Our topic is 2027 presidential race, Jonathan, in or out? My name is Luke Mbo, and I'm joined by a seasoned political analyst and legal practitioner, Barrister Chijoke Obube Odebini. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Luke.
Let's start. I want to know why the calls for Jonathan to return.
Well, first of all, I guess analysts believe that Jonathan's entrance into the race may alter the political dynamics of Nigerian politics. And I believe that he's a unifying figure, capable of bringing together different political tendencies and political constituencies. That is consensus about him. And of course, people still look back in nostalgia to his, what may be perceived as a very, very impactful and productive government, especially when you compare with the immediate transition government of President Muhammad Buhari, which we still see as a big disaster. So that nostalgic feeling is probably what is fueling this agitation and call for him to throw his hat into the ring.
I recall that Jonathan conceded defeat. And we are thinking, will he be able to stand the heat? You know he's a gentleman.
Well, I don't know really, because you see, Jonathan has a lot to speak for him. His political antecedents will come into focus, and people who are objective and detached about what's going on in Nigeria today probably feel that what he did in the past will speak for him strongly should he throw his hat into the ring. If you recall, for instance, when it comes to when he was president, the economy, for instance, now Nigeria's economy was supposed to be the fastest growing economy in the world under Jonathan, and the GDP grew to be the biggest in Africa. Under social intervention, the Shopee program that came out of the subsidy removal helped to alleviate and also elevate many businesses in Nigeria. When it comes to the fiscal responsibility in Nigeria, well, the financial part of Nigeria, the economy, for instance, now he promulgated many policies and programs. For instance, the BVN, the TCN, the Treasury Single Currency, and other things policies that he propounded to regulate and create a form of curb and corral corruption to another extent, institutionalize checks on competencies in the financial aspect and also corruption. So he has a lot of programs that people believe that if given another chance, it will help also get Nigeria back to what it was when he was president. So Jonathan's presence according to his supporters, because I want to make it very clear that I'm not doing as Jonathan's spokesperson.
Yeah, you're not.
He has not announced his intention to contest. It's academic.
That is
Well, and this, my opinion, is nowhere endorsement of his candidacy. It's just that, yes, his possibility, the excitement that his likely candidacy has generated in the polity is because of the antecedents.
Well, you talked about the pros. What about the cons? What about the ones that didn't do well? We recall that Boko Haram at that time was at its peak and all that. Then the Chibok girls issues. Let's talk about the ones he didn't do right.
I think before that, I think there's also even some issue of eligibility. If you recall, some days ago, I don't know if I'm preempting you, but Festus Keyamo, for instance, did warn that the Jonathan to be careful about those calling on him to come and contest because of issues of eligibility. And even Odin Kalu also echoed that sentiment recently as well, alluding to judicial mischief. So those of them, that's his first major challenge. How do you overcome the so-called eligibility issue? But personally, I believe that under the Constitution, he is eligible to contest because based on the present provisions of the law and also the substantive legal pronouncements, judicial pronouncements, he can contest as a president. Yes, under also, yes, like I said, the cons, I guess the lowest point of his presidency was the Chibok girls debacle. He himself even expressed his frustration with what he thought was sabotage from within that led to that very, very disturbing and unfortunate incident. But at the same time, too, Jonathan, at every point in time, has displayed an inclination towards promoting rule of law, defending civil liberties and fundamental rights. For instance, now, in his government, he declared a state of emergency in 3 states, in spite of all the challenges they had, without disturbing or distorting the elected democratic institutions, from the governor's office to assembly members. He showed that in spite of all the challenges and setbacks that the government witnessed, he did not tamper with the civil liberties. So these are part of the reasons why many people still look back fondly to his presidency and say that yes, he had his moments, but that the benefits of the government far outweigh whatever it is that Nigerians saw as his big points.
But going back to the judicial issue, the legal issue, let's look at, if you calculate simple arithmetic, if he comes into the race and wins, he'll be counting more than 8 years. How do you reconcile this?
Well, like I said earlier, Jonathan is eligible to contest, both constitutionally and based on judicial pronouncements. But in 2010, following doctrine of necessity by the Senate, he was sworn in as president of Nigeria to succeed late General Musa Yar'Adua. And in 2011, he now ran successfully and was sworn in again to run to Nigeria for first term, 4 years. I recall that the first time eligibility was challenged was in 2015. Yes, I think 2015. Some people, I can't remember the party now, they went to Abuja FCT High Court saying that Jonathan cannot contest, being sworn in twice. And the courts, in fact, said that he, first of all, his first swearing was not by election, but by succession under Section 146 of the United Constitution. And then since this time, he just ran his first term, he has the right to go for a second term under the Constitution. Then I think in 2022, 2 APC members, following calls then by some section of the country to that should come out and contest for 2022 presidential election, went also to court, Goa High Court, Federal High Court in Goa. And as the court interprets Section 137, Section 3, which specifically bars person who has contested, who has been sworn in twice from contesting election at the 3rd time. I thought they were emphatic. What they said, look that yes, Section 137, Section 3, which was an amendment of the Constitution in 2017, cannot operate retroactively. Our constitution is prospective. It's not a retroactive constitution. And once a law has come into effect, it cannot take away vested rights or impose obligations that are called prior to its enactment. So what the law is now saying that, look, yes, under the constitution as it is now, President Swab is sworn in twice, cannot run a but Jonathan is not affected because at the time he ran and was sworn in, this law had not been pronounced and had not come into effect. It's not retroactive. So as it stands now, that law has not been challenged. That judgment has not been challenged. It is a substituting law. Jonathan is free to contest for a third term, but for a second time. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. You've been very analytical on this. But let's talk about the concept of recycling in Nigeria. Don't you think Jonathan coming back into the race is another recycling when there are a lot of young men who should be given opportunities to have a try?
I strongly agree with you. I agree with you quite strongly about that. But again, Nigeria has its political peculiarities, which you can't dismiss out of hand. There is this strong belief in the North that Tinubu is marginalizing them. President Ahmed Tinubu's government is marginalizing the northern part of the country, and they feel that the best way to stop him is to get a strong southern candidate. Yes, people like Peter Obi and Amechi have been quite emphatic in saying that, look, give us a chance. We will do just one term in line with that. We have to switch, not feel that, look, this is after 2031, it's our turn. And so give us a chance to run one term. But the Northerners feel that Jonathan continually cannot do more than one term. He's a surer bet. So they feel that if he contests, he must leave after 4 years. And because of the fact that Tinubu is from the south, and getting a candidate from the south that has the status and towering personality of Jonathan are very difficult. They feel that Jonathan is the right person that Jonathan can entrust the next 4 years to, because they look back with fondness about his policies that favored the North, especially the Amajiri school thing, and most of the things that the Abuja-Kaduna railway line, many things that Jonathan pushed in order to appease the North to get a second term. So they feel more comfortable, these antecedents, that Jonathan is a person that can actually protect their interests among all those whoever candidates that have in the South.
If he comes in and wins, how historic will it be?
Well, I think it will. Yeah, historic, but it will not be something new in Nigeria. It will just be among the probably third Nigerian head of state to have come out, to have come back from retirement to also run this country. Only Jonathan's own case is a bit. There's also one other remarkable thing about Jonathan's political antecedent. Jonathan is the only person in Nigerian history that has held virtually all major positions from state level to the federal level. He's the first and only person. He was deputy governor, acting governor, later became governor of Bayelsa State. Barely a year as governor of Bayelsa State, he became vice president, acting president, and president of the country. So I think that would be the historic aspect of his emergence. As someone that as a person of consequence, has held positions, gone left office, democratically considered, like a typical African or Nigerian president, and also come back to also run a country. It would be a very big watershed event, a very big political landmark if he emerges again as a president of this country.
What about if he loses?
Well, that is the risk factor involved. Jonathan presently is enjoying statesman-like status in Nigeria and even internationally as well too. I think he got any nation's appointment. I've won the exact organ that gave me that appointment. His profile internationally has grown massively, and it will be quite a very big, gamble to. It will be quite a very big way to gamble this huge political patronage, political political advantage to, running for an election in this very tempestuous period in Nigeria and losing. So that's what he has to look at. He and his team has to look at, and then before he now takes a decision. For now, I can say it's academic. I haven't even said anything about running.
Yes, but we keep on doing the mathematics and the arithmetics. What about the politics? Is it a great gift from the north to zoom the presidency to the south, knowing that if we are more than 2 or 3 from the south that is in the race or are in the race, then and they come up with one strong candidate in the north, what is it going to be like?
I agree with you. That's part of the risk involved. It's clearly whatever the Northerners are doing is self-serving. They want to, either which way, head or tail, they win. If per chance, for instance, now,
blame them. Politics is all about
it's of course it's all about interest. I agree, and everybody, it's up to you to now see if you can be able to, get something to push back and have your advantage. Generally, many of them, not all of them, I don't know, most of them feel that they're marginalized. What they expected from this government, they're not getting it. And just like some of us in the South East also feel marginalized as well too, and they have a right to support who want to support. But many of us are saying that, look, it will be, not because they're Southeasterner, represent the best for this country. So the issue of a great gift, I don't want to take it that far, in the sense that a candidate that I'm running for not someone like Atiku, for instance, now, maybe the big elephant in the room, I do not know whether he might enjoy the same kind of spontaneity, support, or strong support that someone like Jonathan will generate if he comes out. Because this feeling of the fact that the feeling is very strong that power is the turn of the South to the president, and the Tash were allowed to conclude their 8 years, either to play Tinubu or to another person. So that might be a very, very dangerous game to play. They might actually lose out and give Tinubu a chance to continue. I will need to bet that if they not brings out a candidate to contest the election, Tinubu will win the election. The best bet is allowed to Senate contest or Senate contest election and probably see if they can buy their votes.
You talked about P2P. Do you see any alliance between Jonathan and P2P?
Actually, coincidentally, I read an article last weekend. I think one at Zibola, Jonathan's cousin. I can't remember. Sorry if I got it wrong. One of Jonathan's cousins or a relative was saying that the thing that is holding Jonathan back from actually coming out fully to express whether he's going to contest or not is he's quiet about running against Peter Obi, and also the feeling that Southeasterners might feel betrayed if he comes out to contest against their son Peter Obi. So that I'm a challenge for both of them. Peter Obi and Jonathan worked very well together. We were supportive of the Jonathan government, and actually had, I think, was a member of the Jonathan's economic team after he started his term as governor of Anambra State. So, and Jonathan and Obi were very supportive. Jonathan and I believe both of them have a very strong relationship. So that might be the problem now. If the both of them are on the ballot, I think that would be an easy way for Tinubu to win the election, because their votes will be divided, both in the south and also north central and part of the northeast.
I recall that when the last time Jonathan contested, he worked very closely with P2P. Do you see them reenacting the same?
I said it earlier that I know that both of them have a very close relationship. And Jonathan's biggest disquiet is how to, according to his cousin or relative, like I read an article that he does not comfortable running against P2P. He wants to see if they can have a kind of an arrangement or agreement on how to proceed with the coming 2027 presidential election. So I think that's what's probably one of the things that is holding Jonathan back from coming out fully to contest and run for office.
Now, with all of this, do you think Jonathan will fall for this? Will he come in? Is he coming in or not?
That is pure speculation. I don't want to push into that, but in the Kukwati fall apart, they say that from the way a bird's wings are inclined, I can easily guess where the tree might perch on. Jonathan body language from his aides, his supporters, his associates, It appears to an extent that he is seriously considering coming out. I know that he has visited the president twice. He has made some high-profile political connections and consultations, and from the way he's aids, and he too has been making some very, very, unlike for the past couple of years, many years at the environment, he's now making strong political statements. Even at times trying to assess and even criticize some of the things on police of this government, something I want to do for a very, very long time. So if you look at the body language and the political climate around him, it appears that the decision might be one way or the other made very soon from his team and his group. The pressure I know is very strong, very strong.
If he appears, what is your prediction? 2027 elections.
That's a very, very difficult assessment, my brother. But I am a strong supporter of P2B, who is my principal in the Law Party. However, as a political realist, Jonathan's emergence will change the political dynamics of this country. If P2B is not on the ballots, I think Jonathan has a stronger chance of, because I'm upset, of moving an incumbent once again if he emerges. If all the questions are handled, maybe he's not on the ticket, is Judge Jonathan as a strong candidate, not further glitch. So if there's a consensus that Jonathan will emerge from the south to run against Tinubu, I would like to be aware that he's going to definitely prevail against the current president.
Barrister Chijoke Odebi, former deputy Guba candidate in Enugu State, a Labour Party actor. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Dr. Luke, for having me. Thank you, viewers.
That's our show. My name is Luke. Please God, we'll be with you again. Nigeria, we hail